Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. This is Politics with Laura, and oh my goodness, the United States, it is in flames with gasoline draws on.
Mommy, because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
Hey, this is Big Girl. Hey, okay, I'm live streaming on YouTube and Rumble. I'm trying to make sure everything is hitting right. Okay. Waiting on Rumble, that takes a little longer, man. It takes a little while for Rumble. That's a hit or miss. Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, let me make sure. It's a hit or miss. Okay. All right, I'm on Rumble. I'm off. It's all right. Okay. Elon Musk and Trump, the bromance is over. It's over. Now, when you have two guys, one is powerful and one has all the money in the world, and I'm going to tell, oh my goodness, this pollen, I got to shut the window. He has the money through government contracts. I'm going to tell you something. Elon Musk is rich due to the United States and government contract. Now, he's been getting government contracts for at least about 10, 15 years. And it'll be hard to get rid of anything that he has done. So he's so firmly entrenched in the government. That's why he could act like that. And they say that he's been doing rugs. I don't know, but he did look a little strange in the Oval Office, getting black eyes, getting in fights. Look, Elon, you leave that behavior at the bar. You don't take that into the White House. You act like a fool in the bar. Okay? That's all that I'm saying. That's it. You do that. You do that there. You don't do that. Nah. That's not what you do. But I digress. All right. Sorry. So the bromance is over. Elon is putting out tweets saying Trump been on EpiPen Island. I'm like, where is that coming from, Elon? Oh, Trump is a Republican. I mean, he's look, Elon's getting petty. Now, women do that stuff, Elon. Women do that stuff. We say, she wears a hair weave and that's not her real hair and she has butt implants and her boobs are fake. I mean, come on. But I gotta say, it makes great content, but it goes deeper. Elon said, well, I'm over Doge. Even though you put me out, that's okay. I can start funding the Democratic Party. Oh, you have Steve Bannon said, wait a minute, he committed a crime. He needs to be deported. And then we could go in and seize his companies. Tesla stocks have tumbled down, and it was tumbling down before the fallout even began. And Elon walking around with a black eye. Do we remember him and Amber Heard? She was throwing those lefts and those rights, and it all hit. And its wild part is his black eye is exactly where Amber Heard two-pieced him. She two-pieced him. So was Amber Heard in the White House and they were in there tussling? I don't know. But I thought that was an interesting point to put out there because it's not the first time Elon got his knot rocked. It isn't. But this is wild. I didn't think that their bromance would implode so quickly. And when you are a billionaire, you didn't get there by being nice, okay? You didn't get there by playing patty cake, patty cake. No, you got there by saying, hey, you're lacking, gone. You get there by being cutthroat. And it's just so happened that's how business works. You're cutthroat. Now, if you and you have to get rid of your competition. Now, Elon has the entire market on electric cars. It's just him. That's a monopoly. That's not allowed in the United States. It's almost like the NFL, the basketball teams, and the football teams, and the hockey teams. They're all what do you call it? That's supposed to be broken up, but it's not. So the United States, they let people do what they want to do, certain people. But if you are on regular people level, oh, they come, they break you up, they take away your business, they throw you in jail. I mean, they do stuff like that depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Now, keep in mind, and I keep on telling people this, Trump is a Democrat, but he came in on the Republican ticket. The Democrats said, no, just give us money, Donald. I mean, that's what it was like, right? So he went on the Republican side and he was like, and he went in and he got his stance, his football stance, and just start bulldozing. That's exactly what he did. He mowed over the entire majority of the Republican Party. And who followed him are MAGA. Now, keep in mind, people, understand this. MAGA are not conservatives. Otra vez, por la gente no. My English and Spanish went at the wrong moment. No. Okay. I don't know what happened. I must be upsetting somebody because I know certain people watch me. I know, but I digress. But Trump went in and he bulldozed it over and he brought MAGA. Now, MAGA are Democrats that either left or are voting Republican. Then you have the moderate Republicans and people who just like Trump. That's it. This Trump. We're not talking about Speaker Mike Johnson. We're not talking about oh my goodness. It's here, but it's not coming out here. Not talking about any of those people, just Donald Trump. And people will say, he speaks my language. He's a billionaire who talks like I do. He just says things. And plus, he goes on the world. Man, when Trump went over to Geneva and he's around those world leaders and he's doing this, he's pushing these people out the way. Oh my goodness. He was over there doing those. Get out the way. Hey, America's here. Yes, you know your he was doing that. But look, say what you want. Say what you want. Trump puts America first. And then you have people say, well, politics with Laura. Laura, he doesn't put America first. He puts his pocket first. Squeeze me. Tell me what politician has not put their pocket first. Tell me one. Tell me one who has not, because Trump is not taking, he's not even getting paid. Okay? He's not getting paid for being the president. He's not. Everybody else took money, but him. I mean, we're not talking about the speaking engagements that Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr., and man, he fumbled through those speaking engagements. He did. But back on the topic. Trump told Elon from day one, Americans do not want electric cars. We want gas. We don't want to go halfway down the street and then it conks out and then we have to find the charger because there's not charging machines all over the place. There's not. And then it's going to take 45 minutes to charge up the car and run our electricity up sky high. Now, over in China, they have electric cars, but what they do is they take out the batteries and put it in 5 minutes and you're gone. Elon's like, no, that goes against my business. And I'm thinking, Elon, you got the market for the whole entire United States, and you're not even considering what they're doing. You're doing it the old-fashioned way to bring more money into your pocket, and you're failing miserably. Hey, I'm just telling you what the woman down the hallway told me. She told me to tell you that. But that's what it is. And so when Donald Trump presented that bill, he's like, wait a minute, wait, come on. The electric cars, come on. But you knew that. Elon, you knew that. So when you're passing out these tweets and you're saying all kinds of wild stuff about Trump, that's adolescent. That is. I mean, you were ace boom coom, and now you all fell out, and now you're throwing all these dirty secrets. Oh, Donald Trump's doing this. Donald Trump. But this is something that I thought was I thought that it made a lot of sense. It's like, wait a minute, let's just stop. Let's just stop and let's regroup. Now, I found this tweet, and I'm not sure if it's really okay, it's Barron Trump News, right? So I'm not sure if that's where he got it from, or if he's just if this person speak at the side of the neck. But they're like, hey, brother Elon Musk, I'm begging you, don't feed into the hate machine. This country needs unity, not division. I know I know in your heart you believe in bringing people together, not tearing them apart. Right now, more than ever, we are facing a global threat that could reshape the very existence of our nation. This is not the time to weaken ourselves from within. And that's very, very, very true. It also states we do not have the luxury for turning on each other. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder and fight the real evil, not to become a part of it, for love of this country, for the future of our children. Please stop. Let's be warriors for truth and unity, and not pawns for their game. And I thought that was, I'm like, that right there is oh, where's it at? That right there is, I agree. I agree with everything that Barron Trump News put out there. That is very true. We need to unite, because right now we are in a divided country. Very divided. And I'm going to show you how divided we are. Now, some Americans, and look, we all are Americans. Okay, we're born here, we're Americans. And we got to act as one. Now, if you're an American, a naturalized American, and you're waving a different flag, you need to stop that right now. Stop. If you're born here and your parents are not from this country and you're waving a different flag, you need to stop. You're an American. We must band together as one. Now, I'm going to start getting into immigration in a second. We have to band together as one. Right now, Elon Musk, I mean, him being a South African and he also being an American citizen, he's a naturalized American citizen whom happens to have a top secret clearance. And it's going to be quite wild to see how this goes, because him having the issues that the White House alleged that he may have as far as rugs, don't know, but him being in the, I should have brought up a video, a little clip on that, but I didn't. He seemed a little off step. I'll put it like that, a little off step. And everyone can have a bad day. True, everyone can. But if that persists, it's you can't have that. And you can't be in the Oval Office doing that. And plus, you can't have top secret security. Here's another layer to it. It freezes all your government contracts, every single last one of them, until a full investigation. If they find that you're getting federal government contracts and you're doing rugs and you happen to have a top secret clearance and you're in the White House with the president, OMG, that does a whole lot. That does a whole lot. But let me show you this right here, because this right here is getting ugly. Don't believe me at all. Don't believe me. Because Trump is like, wait a minute, Elon, check this out, home slice. Home slice. Trump says Elon will face serious consequences if he funds a Democratic candidate. Now, and the interview in NBC News, the president also said he assumes his relationship with the tech billionaire is over following the recent fallout. And they were ace boom coom. They had a bromance going on, and it's over now. It's over. Okay. Are you almost finished? This mic picks up everything. Sorry about that. Okay, President Donald Trump on Saturday said there will be serious consequences if the tech mogul Elon Musk funds Democratic candidate to run against Republicans who voted in favor for the GOP sweeping budget bill. Now, this is going to be quite interesting because Trump is like, let me tell you something, Elon. Check this out. Let me get my whole face when I say this. Let me tell you something, Elon. You cannot put your money that you made all your money from government contracts, and if you think you're going to fund a Democratic candidate running against a Republican, you got another thing coming. I mean, this stuff is getting petty. Normally I save this for Prince William, but hey, okay, Trump, you got PETTY. You don't need no alibi. You're petty. You're petty. I mean, it is petty. It is, but it's great for content creators. I mean, it's a content creator's dream. Okay, unfortunately, this has real consequences. It does. But let's continue on. If he does, he'll have to pay serious consequences for that, Trump told MSNBC News in a phone interview. But he declined to share what those consequences will be. I mean, I don't know what it will be besides him, showing his disappointment, because what can he really do with a private citizen saying, okay, I want to back, a Democratic candidate? Because let's keep in mind, when Trump came out, I couldn't believe he said this, but he came out and he said, well, Mitt Romney, when I gave you money, you would have gotten on your knees and did whatever I said, and then I gave money to the Republicans. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get what I want as a businessman. However, that right there, that same sentiment goes to any other businessman that wants to fund Democrats or Republicans or any political figure, whether if you're on the federal level, local level, state level, county level, township level. I mean, how far you want to go down. However, it is what it is. But it's getting rough. So the president also said that he has no. Ooh, did I read that right that quickly? That he has no desire to repair his relationship with Musk after the feud between the two men erupted into a public view earlier this week. Yeah. No, Trump said when asked if he had any wishes to do so, asked if he thought his relationship with the Tesla and SpaceX CEO was over, Trump said, "I would assume yes." So, I guess right there, Trump is leaving a door open, saying, "Okay, Elon, when you're done acting out, do you want to at least try to form a friendship, some kind of friendship?" Because look, Elon did go far. He did. Elon got to calling names. He starts saying that, that I don't know what I did with those tweets. I had them, but for some reason they disappeared. For some reason, I don't know where those tweets went. But, however, I digress. But he started talking about EpiPen Island, and all of a sudden now that Democrats are like, "Oh, yes, we're going to open up an investigation," and they're trying to impeach Trump. They're doing everything they can. They're like, "Well, we tried to impeach Trump last time, and when we did, he was not in office. Joe Biden was in office, but we still try to impeach him anyway." I'm like, you all need to stay from the back of the bus. You got to move up. You can't impeach somebody if they're no longer in office. What's wrong with you, Democrats? What's wrong? Goodness gracious, right? But that's what they did. But let me go back to the article. And Trump's comments were most extensive since he and Musk exchanged threats and attacks on X and Truth Social earlier this week. He added that he thought that the Republican Party was more unified than ever than the two after the two men fell out in front of the whole world, and that's happened most definitely. Guess who's checking that out? China, Xi Jinping, Putin, what's his name? Oh my goodness. Oh man, the president of North Korea. I mean, everybody's checking this out, and this is for the world to see. That's not good for the American people. That puts us at an extreme disadvantage. But it gets deeper than that. But Trump said he has he has no plans to speak with Musk anytime soon. "I'm too busy doing other things," he said, added, "I have no intention on speaking to him." Trump also accused Musk of being disrespectful to the office of the president, and that's true. He was disrespectful. There's a certain decorum that you have, and just because you spent billions of dollars or millions of dollars into Trump's campaign doesn't mean that it gives you the right to be disrespectful. Come on, Elon. Okay? Keep in mind that office was the same office that gave you contracts for SpaceX. Gave you what was it? What, $450 million? And that was simply for Tesla. We're not even talking about your other businesses that you have with the United States. Just Tesla, $450 million, and that came from the Democratic Party. It wasn't the Republicans, it was the Democrats. But however, let me continue. But also, Trump also accused, being disrespectful, and I think it's a very bad thing because he's very disrespectful, and you could not disrespect the office of the president. He added, Musk on Thursday launched a barrage of posts on X against the president, including two deleted highlighting the one-time links between like I said, the Jeffrey EpiPen Island. I want to click it, but it's going to go to a different. And okay, this so-called old news that has been old, that's been old news. That it and okay. I got one thing, Elon. I got one thing to say. one thing to say, and that is this. If you knew, hypothetically, because I don't know if, I don't know if it's true that Trump was on EpiPen Island. I don't know. But Elon, I would say this to you. If you ever see this video, which I don't think you will, but however, I'm going to say it anyway. If you knew Trump was that kind of person and he was doing those types of terrible things to people, you knew it, you hung with him, and you were fine with him, and you were fine endorsing him being ace boom coon, trying to live into the White House, and you knew this, what does that make you? What kind of person are you? And what kind of person are you wanting to assist to lead the American people? That would make us say, wait a minute, wait. Hold, scoot your boots. Hold your boots. Just hold. No. We don't need anything like that. And that is just me as an individual speaking. I can't speak for 300 and some odd million people because there might be some might say, hey, you know, all right. Like P. Diddy and his crew. Weinstein and his crew. Nexium and their crew. I mean, you got people who are down with that. But as far as I know, and that I've researched, the only time I found Trump and Jeffrey EpiPen together was when he was down in Mar-a-Lago, and when Trump found out about what he was doing and how he was inappropriate with a young person in Mar-a-Lago, he threw him out. He said, nah, bye. That right here, right, that right there, no, we don't have that here. That's what I know. But I haven't seen anybody put up anything different to contradict that what he stated. I have not seen anything. Now, what I did see was Bill Clinton on the logs, other people on the logs, and people like, well, you know, Donald Trump has his own plane and he flew his own plane over. No, come on, stop. No, stop. You're saying that Trump flew his plane over there and you know this how? How do you know this? You're putting stuff on there. And I'm not taking up for anyone. I'm just taking up for what I have researched. That's all that I'm doing. I'm not adding anything other than what I researched. No. I'm for America. I'm for Americans, which leads me to my next talking point. Illegal immigration. Okay. I'm going to have to really, this illegal immigration, now it really goes deep. It goes deep. Make sure this is right. Okay. I'm just checking my different platforms. It goes deep. Now, I'm going to show you some articles that are very unflattering to other communities that are from other countries. Very unflattering. And then you're going to say, hey, politics with Laura, why are you picking on people? No. I'm just putting it where it is. Now, what I find interesting is that most Americans are honest about America. We got 1,000 things to say negative about America, but we also have 1,000 things to say that are good about America. Now, the people that I come across have 1,000 things to say that is negative about their country, but they can't think of 2 things positive. Not 2, not even 0, nothing good, right? Having said that, let me get this one off real quick. Oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be rough. So let me go ahead and bring this out because I show receipts. Not what I think, not what I feel, but what I can prove. And this right here is very unflattering, but very, very true. Now here, when people talk about that there is this black brown coalition. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. It doesn't. So here out there in California, the same place to where they're protesting and they're stopping ICE agents, and black Americans are like, look, we're just stepping back. They're doing their job. I'm not going to I don't stop people from doing their job. I mean, if a firefighter is out there putting out a fire, you think I'm going to stop them and say, no, you can't put that fire out? Wait a minute. A firefighter is doing their job. I'm not going to be there saying, no, you can't do your job. No, you can't put that fire out. No, you let them do their job. You let them do it. Because we American taxpayers are paying taxes for people to do their job and those prospective jobs. And if they say, hey, this person or a couple of people, and I'm just saying a couple, but you could expand that by millions, a couple of people who were told to self-deport, and they've been here for 30 years and they knew that they were supposed to go, but did not. Am I supposed to get in their way and say, no, they've been here for 30 years, even though the judge said, no, don't do it? No, you can't be here for 30 years. No, you got to go. The law is a law, right? You're like, politics with Laura, but you're a black woman. So it doesn't mean I break the law because I happen to be a black or better an American, that I happen to be American, that I'm going to go and break the law. No, I'm well, oh, this is the best one. You know, black Americans, you're going to get deported too. Where am I going to get deported to? Pennsylvania? New York? Where are you going to deport me? Where? I mean, you all say some of the craziest things. It's so crazy. You can't deport me. You can't deport black Americans because we're here. That is the craziest thing I have ever heard. Well, you're really not Americans. You're really from Africa. What? What? Do you know that the native people here that are Indians are black? They have dark copper colored skin. They're not. They don't look. Matter of fact, let me get to help people out here. Some people are going to get pissed off, but I'm getting ready to unveil some things. Check this out. Look at the Jackie Chan movie, the cowboy movie that he did over here because he loved the cowboy movies. Check out Jackie Chan, and he had a full cast of Native American Indians that looked Asiatic. Them, and they said that they're Mongolian. They came over. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but check that out. Right now, what do you say? Oh well, politics with Laura. You're African. No, I don't know that. I did my genealogy. My genealogy was here, but that's for another video. But let me go ahead and show this to you. This right here, I gotta say, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't at all. All right. It says here, East LA gang members who led the firebombing of African-American residents sentenced to 16 years in jail and federal prison. So you're like, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. Okay, a senior member of the Big Hazard Street gang was sentenced to about 192 months in federal prison for orchestrating the executing and nighttime bombing of African American families in the Ramona Garden housing development in Boyle Heights in 2014. Order to force the residents out of their homes. So there has been an effort, and I got information to back up what I'm saying, an effort to remove Black people or Black American people from their homes, to remove them, to put Latinos and other people there, to remove them. That has been the thing for a very, very long time. However, now they're just starting to do something about this. This was 2014, but it doesn't stop there. Here, Hernandez pled guilty in April 2019, 5 felony counts of conspiracy to violate civil rights, violating violent crimes, and adding in aid of racketeering, criminal interference. Criminal interference with the fair housing rights, the use of fire, and the commission of a federal felony and carrying a firearm, and a commission of a crime of violence. I mean, I'm like, wow, okay. The defendant planned to coordinate and led these racially motivated attacks that targeted vulnerable families, including grandparents and infants, while they were sleeping peacefully in their homes. The principal deputy assistant attorney general, Pamela S. Carlin of the Justice Department of the Civil Rights Division, the Justice Department will continue to prioritize prosecution of hate-filled violence. And the defendants in this case perpetrated these crimes that targeted innocent victims in their homes simply because of the color, because of their skin color, and acting the U.S. Attorney Tracy Wilkinson of the Central District of California. These despicable acts are simply unacceptable in our society, and that right there is very true. But I got another article to only add on to what I'm saying. Look, you may not like what I'm saying. You may hate it, and I get it. It doesn't mean what I'm saying isn't true. And if you don't look at what people in your community are doing, calling it out and having them to stop, instead of just saying, I'm not going to say anything because, it has nothing to do with me. No, it has everything to do with you, because look, if it weren't for Black Americans, right, during the 60s, you would not be here. You simply would not. And having this type of behavior and this negative attitude, it isn't cool at all. Man, I could go on and on, but let me just show you this one last one. Let me show you this one last one. And this right here, I was like, wow. I mean, they're actually saying this. This is really, really something. All right. Now here, Latino gangs charged with racially cleansing attack in California town. And I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. And it's not only in California, but it's also okay, California, Los Angeles. I thought I saw Arizona. That might be that's possibly another article. Wow. But here, the gang has about 400 members and 50 indicted yesterday, according to the indictment, and 23 of them are in custody and 12 are fugitives and still being sought after. And the number 13 attached to the name of many gangs in Southern California indicate the connection of the Mexican mafia or the prison gang that controls Azuasa 13. M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that right there. But I just wanted to basically dispel a lot of this. Now, am I saying everyone? No. it's impossible for everyone to have the same mindset or do the same thing. No. Now, if you don't do anything about it or try to make it better to make connections and you're silent, you're a part of the problem. But if you are out there saying, hey, this right here is not cool, you need to stop, help out, then that right there makes America better. Now, what I found interesting now, besides liberals crashing out, and liberals are crashing out. And Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, has not learned one thing. She hasn't learned one thing since the fires, not one. You think that she would learn? No. I mean, it's a mess over there in LA. It's a mess, a complete mess over there. But Karen Bass, she's like, well, this is a sanctuary city, and we are going to not give up the people that are here illegally. They're safe here. Now, I said, well, if that's how you feel and you want everybody to pay for sanctuary cities, remove everybody from the taxpayers, right? Open up a GoFundMe and pay for them. Pay for them. Matter of fact, let me see. Okay, forget about that. But pay for their food, clothing, shelter, money, medical care, cars. Give them all of that. Give them all of your stuff. How about that? And let them live in your area. And that's one thing you liberals, you're all about, yes, liberalism. We're liberals. You're only liberal until tested, okay? You're liberal until tested on your liberal political ideology. And that's all that it is. It's an idea that you never put into practice. It's a bunch of bull crap. And I really wish you would stop being full of cowpucky. Because if you were so into illegal immigration and helping illegals, how comes they're not living in your neck of the woods? They're living in mine. I had this guy riding a motorcycle that I know that Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, gave him. I mean, oh my goodness. He's riding this motorcycle and he would fly out and almost hit people in their cars, because he almost clipped me about 5 times. And I did videos about, I don't see him anymore, but hey, I hope everything's going good for you. I just was tired of you almost hitting my car because you don't know what you're doing. I don't even know your name, man. But check this out. Just check this out. Oh, let me bring this up. All right. Like I said, you can't make this up at all. Let me check my other. All right. Okay. I'm on Rumble and YouTube. I'm just checking both sites. All right. So here, Karen Bass. She says the Los Angeles mayor Karen Bass speaks out about KTLA on ICE raids, protects the federal response. This is just political. Really? Okay. Now she's coming off of the LA fires. I'm surprised people. Well, okay. I'm going to say right now that she is not going to be mayor next term. And I believe, what is it? Next year? The local terms for politicians are next year. Okay. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass spoke at KTLA this morning to discuss protects over ICE raids taking place throughout the city in the greater Los Angeles area, as well as a response for the federal official, including President Donald Trump's decision to deploy thousands of National Guard troops. Well, they had to. You didn't look. Mayor Bass. Donald Trump was forced to do this. Now you have Gavin Newsom, who's like, well, look, well, if you send ICE here, we're not going to send you any federal money because we pay the most federal taxes, and that money goes into goes into fund the federal government, in which it does. But however, if you're a part of the union, and this right here is a problem, and basically the United States voted, most people will tell you, I voted for illegal immigration. I want them gone. People said that. People said this illegal immigration is a problem. This needs to stop. And then people are running to sanctuary cities to where they're taking up the resources. Now, I did a video, last week, 2 weeks ago, to where California in LA, they are in a $12 billion deficit. Now, if you have people there that you cannot afford, look, Mayor Bass, you have homeless veterans. You have homeless Americans. You are putting senior citizens out on the streets, and you're protecting illegal people when you're not even protecting the people that voted for you. What kind of sugar honey iced tea is that? I'm asking for a friend. But here, it says, I'm very disappointed that Trump chose to deploy the National Guards because it was just not necessary, Bass said in a phone interview. Really? It wasn't necessary? When I just showed you what's going on in your neck of the woods, when you have people that are racially cleansing areas, Mayor Bass. But that's okay with you, right? That's okay with having Black Americans being racially cleansed out of neighborhoods, but you're fine with that. Now, my question is this, Mayor Bass, where are your people from to where you are so okay with Americans being ethnically cleansed or racially cleansed? Where are you from? Where are your people from? That's all I want to know. I mean, this stuff is crazy. But the mayor continued to say that she was told there was about 120 protesters in downtown LA Saturday night, some of whom committed acts of vandalism, but nothing that the Los Angeles Police Department couldn't handle. She said, well, apparently they couldn't handle it, or they simply did not want to handle it. But to me, this is just completely unnecessary, and I think it's the Trump administration just posturing. Bass continued. I've spoken to the governor several times and have not yet talked to the president, but I have talked to the officials high up in his administration, and I expressed to them that things were not out of control in the city of Los Angeles. Well, look at this. Why do they need rubber bullets, Mayor Bass? I would like to know. But the Paramount had some issues that's about, but I doubt very seriously that there is needed for the National Guard. Yes, there is. Unfortunately, there is a reason, and I would be the last person to say, "Hey, bring in the National Guards." I'll be the last person to say that. But if there's wild stuff, let me see if I can bring this up so that you all can get a visual of what I'm talking about, because some of you are like, well, hey, politics with Laura. I mean, I think you're a little off the beaten path on this one. And let me see, where's it at? Oh, I got so many different programs up. Okay, LA protest ice raid. Okay. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me bring this over so that you can see it. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Trying to get this straight. I do apologize. I do. Okay, this. Can we take that down? All right. Okay, let me. How can I? Okay. Now they're deporting people, and they're in the way. They're not allowing them to do their job. They don't need a National Guard. They don't need the National Guards. I mean, I think if the if they're throwing stuff, that's dangerous. I mean, it's really dangerous. Let me see if I can. And you know, it's a shame that this right here is happening. It is. Oh wow, okay. I got a lot here. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, this is going to get a bit. Hold on for a second. I'm trying to get all this. I have so many windows up, but that's not your problem. That's mine. All right. So out there in LA, it is getting wild. Okay. Let them go, set them free. Now, let me ask you one question. Just hear me out here. Just listen to me. If you're in America and you want people to stay in America, why are you flying a foreign flag? That makes no sense to me. If America is the place that you want to be and we already have a culture, why do you bring a flag someplace else? Another flag here? That's not showing that you want to integrate into the American culture or be a part of America. That to me, that seems like that you want to be a separatist in a different land. Just my 2 cents. That really doesn't make too much sense to me at all. But let's keep going. Right there. You have an El Salvadorian flag. I saw a Nicaraguan flag. Ladies, get out the damn way. You won't be hit. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Let me see. Let me see what MSNBC has to say.
Here's how women are able to earn $1,000 in 30 days by sending messages on their phone. And some take it even more than that. I mean, this girl just earned over $1 million.
Trump immigration authorities launched a series of targeted raids throughout the city of Los Angeles today. And tonight, a massive protest is taking place outside the LA headquarters of ICE. NBC News political and national correspondent Jacob Soboroff is there, and he joins us now. Jacob, I had just gotten a text breaking news notification in the New York Times about this protest, which seems to be quite large. What's going on?
Let me show you, Chris. So these are two protests converging at the same time here. I want to show you this one that's coming from the Metropolitan Detention Center, which is the jail that is run by the federal government, the county and the federal government downtown in downtown LA. It's converging with this protest. It's coming over here. Scott Killian, why don't you walk with me? Chris, what happened here today in Los Angeles, I think, is the worst nightmare for so many people who live here. You know, Los Angeles is a largely so-called minority majority city. There are just as many people of color here as there are white people. And in fact, 10% of the population of Los Angeles County, come with me, which is one of the largest counties, the largest by population in the United States, is undocumented. There could be as many as 1 million undocumented people who live here in Los Angeles. And what you saw today, and what all of these people are protesting, is large-scale immigration enforcement raids. What you're looking at on the left-hand side of your screen is this protest from the sky. The helicopters are directly above me. You saw, I'm sorry for the noise, but you saw tactical officers on things like Bearcat vehicles, flashbang grenades on the city streets of Los Angeles, which largely felt like, as some people described in local media, that the military was on the streets of Los Angeles. Historically, the Los Angeles Police Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. But when you have got ICE in Los Angeles showing up reportedly at Home Depot, where many undocumented people go to get work as day laborers, you know the National Day Laborer Organizing Network well. Many of those people responded in the wake of the fires here in Los Angeles. When you've got ICE showing up outside of places like schools, it quite literally is striking fear into the heart of people all throughout this community. And it is, I think it's fair to say, the worst fear of so many people here who live in Los Angeles and who have heard President Trump threaten that they would do this. But when this day comes on a Friday morning that stretches into a Friday afternoon, people in Los Angeles are mobilizing and they are very upset. You have Cheerla here, one of the big NGOs here that fights on behalf of immigrant rights.
All right. Now, You already know what Trump said. You already know what Trump said. He said, oh my God, I couldn't believe he said this, but he did. Trump said, if you feel that strongly, because they're going to go, they are going to go, you can go with them. If you want to keep your family together, then you can go with your family to where they come from. I'm like, damn. Wow. OMG. That's exactly what I thought. I was, wow. Okay. But that's exactly what Trump said. Now you have people out there. There are in LA County, there are 1 million illegal people. Now, what I find now, this right here is what I find very interesting, is that you're not fighting for the people that are coming here legally. No, you're fighting for the people that came here illegally. And these are the, I'm not going to say that because I know what people say. Now you had, and look, Latinos, you all voted for Donald Trump. You knew exactly what he was going to do because he said it. He said that he is going to get rid of the illegal immigrants that are here. That 30 million illegal people came here. Now, I did a video. You got people in Nicaragua. There's about 6 million people in Nicaragua. 7 million people in Nicaragua. 6 million people in El Salvador. I think maybe 5 million in Honduras. And that right there is 18 million. I mean, you could take everybody from these countries and empty the whole country out and bring them to the United States within those 30 million. And we're talking about people from all over the world. Now, look, it costs money to be here. We don't have the money. Right now in the DMV area, many Social Security is going to get cut. Medicare and Medicaid, people are not going to get services. Look, check this out. People should not have to lose services because you don't want to be where you're at. You never thought about fixing your own place, your own country up. Fix your own country. The United States didn't become what it is. We had to fight to get what we wanted. You don't cut. Okay, for me, I would strongly suggest not to cut and run and then come to another place that's established and then use the resources and then say, hey, I built America. You didn't build shit. You didn't. You didn't build anything in your country. You don't have a track record of building anything. You have a track record of using resources. You have a track record of that. I mean, I'm just simply stating the truth. If you look at where you come from, is it still the same way it was when you left? Yes. And I said this on other videos. What about sending your family to college? You're here, you're sending money, you're giving them money, but you're not saying, hey, somebody needs to go to college. I don't care who goes. Now, I said on several videos, my ex-husband is an immigrant, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm no stranger to what's going on. I'm no stranger to it. I understand it and I know it. And one thing that I've done was I helped my ex-husband's brothers, sent money for them to go to college, to go to school, to college. One is a civil engineer. His sister, was she a nurse? And his brother plays in a rock band. Now, let me tell you something. He plays in a rock band. That's not the funny part. The funny part is he travels around Mexico, Central and South America. He even comes up to the US. But when he travels through Central and South America, he gets robbed by the police. I'm like, you might want to go back to school and get a profession, something different. because you're not going to make any money if you got the police robbing you. But I digress. But let me go ahead back. But just listen, 1 million people that are still illegal. That's a problem. Now let's go ahead and invert this. You can't be illegal in Mexico. No, you can't be illegal in Honduras and El Salvador. They'll kick your butt out. So why does the U.S. have to bend its rules for you? I'm asking. I mean, if even over in Africa, the same thing over there in Asia. You can't go to look. You can't go to China. You can't go to China illegally. They would throw your butt out. You got to come there right. What is wrong with coming right? What is wrong with saying, hey, this right here is my paperwork. This is who I am. What's wrong with that? Why must you hide in the damn corners? Why? Nobody gets that sugar honey iced tea. And if you cross the border illegally, how you start things is how you continue. What is it saying? How you do one thing is how you do all things. If you come here illegally, everything what you're going to do is going to be on the illegal status. And you got people who are working illegally. The people who are working illegally, you're being taken advantage of. That's the point what you don't get. You're not getting paid the same level as an American citizen will get paid, a naturalized citizen will get paid, or even people that have green cards will get, and people with green cards, you get kind of screwed over too. You do until you become a naturalized citizen, then they change it. But however, you're working for money that you're not paying any taxes. You're saying, well, I pay tax. No, you don't. And even if you get a TINT, what is it? An ITN, and an individual tax, an ITN number, an individual tax number, right? Even if you get that, you're not paying the amount that you should pay to be able to cover your cost for living here. Because if you're making $5 an hour, you're getting a little bit here, a little bit there, and you say, I'm paying taxes, we still have to cover your costs, whether if it's food, clothing, shelter. And you're gonna say, well, well, there are American people that get food stamps, this, that, and the other. Well, look, let me tell you something. An article that just came out that 25% of Americans, there are 320 some odd million Americans here. Now, 25% are functionally employed. That's a nice way of saying you're underemployed. That's a nice way of saying it. This country is broke. We cannot afford we can't afford you. We can't. And if I'm going to leave it right there, because I know no matter what I say, it's like, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. That's exactly what's being done. I don't hear you because I'm going to bring more people to the United States. I don't hear you because it's better here. Well, you got to fight to make it better. Now, I would say, this is what I would suggest. I believe in putting it where it is. I would suggest, let's take about 30 million Americans, okay? 30 million Americans, and let's go to different countries and build it up. Because people are not, look, you're not building your countries up. You're not. Take 30 million Americans, and I will go when I will go into the education department and start building education, do the infrastructure. I will do that. Now, we have a lot of people, 30 million people, and spread them around the world and do exactly that. Now, once we build up your infrastructure to your country and make it functionable, you can't come back. You can't. No, because you didn't put shit into it. You didn't. You're like, well, I don't want to do anything. I think it should be provided for me. My government should be able to do this and it should be done, but I don't want to do anything to it. Now, me getting an education, I don't want to get an education. I'm just saying hypothetically. But, Americans will go, 30 million Americans, spread all around the world, and then build infrastructure. And I'm not being arrogant when I say that, because I talk to I'm in the DMV area, and I talk to people from all around the world, and all of you have nothing negative to say about your country nor your people. But in the same breath, but you should go visit my country. No, I shouldn't. Why not? It's a culture experience. No, I'm experiencing your culture right now. What do you mean? Well, America has its culture. You brought your culture with you, and you don't even bother to assimilate into the American culture while you're flagging your country. Did you see that? I mean, look, you all make no sense at all. But I digress from that point. That's what's going on. And it's not only going to happen in LA. LA is a starting point. Now, when it comes over to the East Coast, and I'm sure that it will, it's not going to happen like that. Look, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to happen like that. It isn't, because Americans are like, we're tired of this. And guess what? Naturalized citizens and people with green cards are tired of it too. We are. And you may say, hey, politics, but Laura, you sound rather biased. No, I'm just tired. Just tired. I wear glasses, right? So many people came into the DMV area. I can get my eyes checked once every 2 years. What? I have to wait 2 years to get my eyes checked again? Go to the dentist. I should go to the dentist twice a year. Now it's once every 2 years. This is crazy. And now insurance is going, everything is going up to pay for people that are illegal. You're like, politics, but Laura, that's a terrible thing to say. No, it's not a terrible thing to say. It's an honest thing to say. If you don't like honesty or truth, you're delusional. You are. Wait a minute. Do I have that over here? And I have to say, your ass is delusional. That's simple. Your ass is delusional. People get tired of it. The same old. But let me go on to my next talking point. Korine Jean Piere. What a fraud. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm no longer a Democrat. What? I'm no longer a Democrat. I'm an independent, and I'm going to write a tell-all book about the Democrats. Oh. I'm going to write about the Biden-Harris administration. I'm going to write about them. Those people. It'll be quite interesting. I'm not going to talk long about her, because she look, Korine couldn't answer a question. She couldn't answer. The only question she answered was about the LGBTQ community. That was it. That was the only thing she answered. And she's like, and this right here cannot happen. We need LGBTQ over there in Africa. And then if you don't agree with the LGBTQ, we're not going to fund you. I mean, what kind of shit is that? What? And if you don't have this in schools, we're not going to fund you. If you don't do, I'm just like, wait a minute. You couldn't answer anything about reparations. You couldn't answer anything about the police. You couldn't answer anything about nurses. You couldn't even answer anything about people with 1 foot or 1 leg. You couldn't answer a question. It was all circular conversation. But when it comes to the LGBTQ, you're straight, concise, straight to the point. And now you want to write a book? We know what the book is. You can't answer a question. That's Korine Jean Piere. I can't answer a question. That would be a good t-shirt. But you may disagree with what I presented. You may disagree with what I said. And you have a right to do so. You can disagree with that. And please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you don't like my content, please dislike, subscribe, and tell me why you don't like my content. I would finish the video, but I'm going to leave it right here. What are your thoughts?